When I first started my company, my approach was to just be a very chill manager and be very hands off with my employees and just kind of give them the space to do whatever they wanted to do. And the longer I've been in business, the more I've realized that that is not the optimal approach to build a really good company. So in this video, I'm going to explain why. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Steve. I'm the founder of Harbor Marketing Agency, and my team and I help scale e-commerce brands to over 8 figures in revenue. So let's dive in. So when I first started my company, I really despised all of the quote unquote red tape that a lot of larger companies had in their organizations. I felt like it was controlling. I felt like it was too many rules to work around and that it slowed things down. And so I started Harbor Marketing Agency, and my approach was basically to do the opposite of that. My approach was I'm going to hire great people and just not really performance manage them, give them the freedom and the space to do whatever they want. And it's going to be basically a very lax culture, and people are just gonna be able to kind of go about their day and do their work and then not really have to live up to any real concrete standards. And that was basically my approach when I started my company. And the longer I've been in business, the more I've realized how bad of an idea that is. Because when you have a lax culture like that, people have no sense of clarity or direction, and they don't really know what they're supposed to be doing in their day to day. And so what ended up happening is, as the team grew, there was a lot of confusion. You know, people were not sure if they were supposed to handle a certain task, if someone else was supposed to handle a certain task, because there wasn't a clearly defined job description. We didn't really have a good organizational chart, and so there was a lot of overlap between positions, and people were, doing different things and thinking that they both were right, and it created a lot of conflict. Also, when you're not very hands-on with performance management of employees and making sure you're setting crystal clear expectations with people, then the top performers get upset because they're working really, really hard and producing great results. And they're getting upset because the underperformers are not working as hard and not producing great results, and they're still staying in the company and they're still affecting what other people are doing in the day to day. And so the more that I've gone about doing this, the more I've realized that people really need structure, and you need to performance manage people in your company. You have to give them a very clear set of standards on what your expectations are, what you're willing to tolerate, and what you are not willing to tolerate. And anybody that cannot live up to those standards, you have to get them out of your company. So that way you give the really high performers the space to perform and be surrounded with other really high performers. And that way everybody can level each other up together, and you don't have someone that's dragging the entire company down because they're not getting their work done, or they're, just not living up to company standards or company culture. And so that's why, things like quarterly check-ins, one-on-ones, checking what people are doing, checking to make sure that deadlines are hit. These things are all really important because it gives you a pulse on who's performing and who's not performing in your company. If someone is performing really well, of course you give them the space to breathe. I'm not saying to micromanage anybody, but you need to be able to keep a pulse on what people are doing, so that way you can spot the underperformers quickly and get them out before they become a drain on company culture and company energy. So this has been a really big lesson for me. And I think my general approach now is that, you definitely don't want to micromanage. You definitely don't want to be that manager or leader that's breathing down everybody's neck, because that's not good for anybody. And, that will actually suffocate your top performers as well. So you basically want to lead with empathy and compassion, and you still want to be understanding. Like if a problem comes up or something doesn't get done, attack the process first, not the person. So try to understand, okay, where did the breakdown happen? And if it becomes a pattern over and over and you're trying to address the process, but you eventually find out that it's really just the person that's not getting things done, that's when it becomes a performance management issue, and you have to start having discussions with them and try to figure out how you can help them improve. If they can't improve over time, you have to get them out of the company. So this is something that has really been a big takeaway for me. And I think the larger our team has grown, the more people I've had to employ and manage, the greater my understanding of this lesson has become. And now I just realized that it's something that you have to do if you really want to build a great company. Good people need structure and clarity, and they need to understand the guidelines in which they're going to be managed on. And then from there, you just let them do their thing and let them do really great work. So I hope that helps. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment below and subscribe for more.